And was as we get back to... Okay, I'm just gonna leave that in. I already stumbled over my words, but hey, this is probably just gonna be another raw video version of the video that you're watching right now, but just 1 year left, so not really much else to review, other than the fact that just making sure our sensitivity is above faith and intelligence, and then obviously making sure we have the ending, more than 421 fighting reputation, probably 420, but let's just be safe here. And I think there's something else that I forgot about. Oh, morality at 600 plus, but it's at that, so we should be just fine. But for giggles, we can do more poetry classes because we can feel like it. But really, we're just waiting till the end, so, I mean, just to cruise through this last part, I guess I can choose not to do an errantry. I already have the War God Sword. I think I fought all 3 bandits last episode, so, episode relative to what Jordan is doing here, but you get the point. We've done what we can, and now we're just waiting for the last month. We could do another tournament arc just to see, but if that doesn't happen, well, it doesn't happen. On top of just any challengers that fight the daughter at this point, but we'll accept them because, well, why not, right? It only helps my score. I think fighting reputation contributes to your score to some degree. If not, I actually would be somewhat surprised, but considering it contributes toward the ending, if we're going to talk about game design, I guess it's a move moment. I really should have. If I wanted to hold the viewers on this platform, I should talk about interesting things first. But what I mean by that is, what I said about reputation is, reputation contributes to an ending, and the ending you get contributes to your points directly. So in a way, they already contribute to your points. So I guess there's no need to really calculate your reputation stats directly to points as well. Other than that, though, yeah, sin being at 0 would help. We could go for maternal stat, but I don't think I'm gonna get enough at this point. I guess I can find out now. I forgot what exactly it lowers, but I guess we can find out once this... Well, we'll just find out. We'll just find out. I think this raises sensitivity as well, but we can just do this and find out, as I said. And our stress threshold is quite high, but there's really no need... Oh, we lose glamour for that, but I don't remember if glamour is part of our point stat. Even so, I think maternal instinct... Well, it would be nice to include maternal instinct just on its own somehow, but I think aside from... there might be another way to get it, but aside from babysitting and tutoring, I don't think there's really any other way. But I'm just forgetting if glamour contributes to your score. It's stamina, strength, intelligence, refinement. I want to say morality counts as well, but I can't remember. But I want to say 8 of them do. If that's so, that must be 8, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, that would be. So the 8 stats aside from sin and stress apparently contribute to your score. It's been a while since I fact-checked that. Just with my own experience or otherwise, but as we get our other spirit ring rewards. I'm trying to think of I mean, it would be better for your points to get maternal, right? I think maternal adds like a higher proportion of itself to your score, but I don't quote me on that. I'm just guessing at this point. If it doesn't, then we're sitting here as my mic audio blows out for some reason. At least I can hear it blow out. And I will try to do my best to maintain it. But otherwise, yeah, we're just here for mainly the maternal instinct, which is a hidden stat in Princess Maker 2. Didn't even know about it until I started playing Refine again. Either that or I completely forgot about it, but I feel like I just learned it when I decided to go deeper into Refine to, focus on at least getting Steam achievements, but just learning more about a game. That's what I usually do for most games anyway, that have any amount of time in them. In terms of they're not new games, I mean, I think that's pretty safe. Also, I am about to get the ending I'm thinking of, right? I hope so. We can take time off just to do so. In fact, it's not really going to affect my daughter too much, so... the relationship between... Well, I don't know. Mainly points. Obviously, there's no way I'm going to be getting the ending. It's way too late, and I've already decreased the father and Cube's relationship somewhat due to other things. I don't think it should be that low, but I don't remember what exactly I did. I know I pretty much almost never went on vacations, as opposed to giving the daughter time off, so that I know for sure. I probably didn't even need to rest, but just to make sure I do. I mean, I really don't need to rest. I'm pretty sure failing still gives me the stats, including maternal instinct, so for everything that's important, we could just keep working here for a whole year. I think we get about, what, 20 Let's just say we get 25 stress per period. I can count. I can try to count. 3, yeah, never mind. 30 stress. But 30, 90, 9... Well, that would stress the daughter out at some point. I could go visit the thingamajiggy, the river errand tree to reset that, but I'm lazy. Let's just get through this video. If nothing else, at least Future Jordan will put in timestamps, but while we're here, we're gonna go do one more tournament arc. Why not? Finish off the daughter's 17 years with the father with one more victory, theoretically speaking. Because it sure ain't gonna be a fight against the Nita that we're gonna do. Yeah, 134 attack, 123 combat skill. There's, aside from the rival, no one should really beat the daughter here. Look at that mithril armor, by the way. So, and theoretically speaking, if I haven't already said it, just to sum it up, if you can defeat the War God, you shouldn't really lose to anyone, save for the rival, because the rival can just... I've seen the daughter take 2 critical hit attacks in a row. I will assume that it's possible to get crit every single attack, but really 3 to 4 times in a row is probably what anyone is going to see in our lifetime, beyond the 4th wall in real life. But aside from that, yeah, no one does enough damage to break through 131 defense, if even that much. Basically, it's a non-zero chance, but it's like, what, 0.1 times 10, negative 10 to the, no, 10 to the negative 10th power of losing. Theoretically speaking, I don't know what the actual numbers are, but assuming you only take upwards of 1 damage per attack, if even that much off a critical attack, yeah, your daughter shouldn't lose. Again, enough about that. This is kind of redundant, but just to kind of explain what's going on. I think the calculations are pretty simple, all things considered, for the battling in Princess Maker 2. It seems simple enough, but there is some RNG, otherwise you would not take 20 damage sometimes and suddenly 50 damage at another time. It's most apparent for me when I go fight the enemies and the daughter, you know, sometimes throws a magic attack and it does 50 damage, sometimes it does 20. Sometimes it does a little bit more, but usually there's a stable amount of variability at times. I don't know if that's true though, because I may have just missed when, yeah, we were doing like 80 to 110. What's this next attack gonna do if we even hit 114 again? Maybe that was just really lucky I did 114 2 times, but otherwise, yeah, nothing really much to see here. Move on. Battle calculations are quite important, I will say that much. It is really easy from my observations to see a developer mess up their battle calculations and either, I mean, what you want at worst, let me repeat that phrase, what you want at worst as a game developer is people abusing a mechanic. What you really don't want is for the game to absolutely break upon itself. Yes, that's what testing's for, but not every developer is working with a team of testers, QA, so on and so forth. Sometimes they're just testing things on themselves, and then they don't play their game. I really highly suggest that, if not, well, actually the dev really, but let's just say that. A game developer needs to play through their game at least twice. Preferably more than that, but if time is not of the essence, then, you know, once at the bare minimum, just expect to do some aftercare in terms of getting rid of bugs, or crashes, or glitches, or depending on your game engine. You don't want characters falling through the floor, you don't want sprites being offset if it's a visual novel, you don't want to see, you know, a character doing negative damage and somehow your HP bugs out, and when you try to use a healing item, it really makes your HP bug out and it treats your character as dead. Yes, if this sounds specific, it's because I am saying a very specific example off of a game I played one time. And that's apparently what happened, but I don't know what the game's code looked like, but that was what was happening. So a tester would report, hey, I used this healing item after getting hit by this boss here, and for some reason, it didn't heal me. Instead, it showed a negative number, and it seemed fine for the moment, even though I didn't heal anything, but after the battle was done, for whatever reason, when I went to battle, the character just started off dead, and it's just like, yeah, that's a bug that's high priority, especially if the healing item is a very common healing, or maybe a common healing item to use. But in this case, it was a healing item that may be used by the player. because it yielded a substantial amount for the current stage of the game you're at. And not saying that I'm perfect either, or even average at that, because for a few years I definitely had my time smoothing out bugs from not just games but prototypes I tried working with, and then smoothing out those bugs is at least an experience to get into the, how should I say, get into the rhythm of, well, smoothing out bugs. Even if you might not be able to, you know, encounter the same bugs later on and have an easier time working through any future projects, in my case, you still want that experience of saying, okay, this is how I'm going to deal with bugs. I'm going to do this, this, this. After we check this, 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 we need to be able to replicate it if, you know, someone reports it. I need to know where to do it. There are ways to kind of control how to do it. Now, if a player ever runs into certain bugs and certain ways you handle those bugs, then yes, that doesn't look good, but that's better than just running into the bug and never being able to fix it, in my opinion. Both are bad experiences, but you would rather have someone say, hey, I ran into this bug error code blah 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 blah, and I need to figure out, you know, what's going on, as opposed to, there's no error handling, you don't get a bug code number that the developers or creators may have programmed in, and you don't know how to replicate the bug, and therefore you don't know how to address said bug, most likely. So yeah, as my glamour pretty much goes near zero here, bug fixing is a heck of a thing to do on your own if you are a lone, independent developer, you know what, why not? A great master of combat. Please tell me that's a hero, by the way. If it's not, I'm gonna be quite sad. You know what? For the sake of stuff, we're going to dance. And raise decorum, because why not? We have all this gold, we might as well use it before the end. We have like pretty much only 1 month to do it, but why not? I think our stress will still be okay, right? Our stress is nearing our stamina, but we should make it out just fine. As we've seen, if Olive had failed... Okay, yeah, here she can't concentrate on studying, but it's fine. Although I really should have spent all this gold doing something else, but again, it's fine. I mean, if I want to, I can just give her a bunch of books, but at this point, I think I'll just live with this, yeah. So our daughter's failing more, but that's perfectly fine. Well, hello, sir. You've come back for the last time. Otherwise, you're gonna have to fight the daughter out when she's going adventuring. Theoretically, if the daughter is gonna become a hero. If she's not, you're gonna see me do some live editing. And by that, I mean I'm just gonna reload a save and figure out what the heck I can do. We're gonna save over this regardless, but I'm just gonna keep rolling saves, why not? Let's take our last vacation together, daughter. To the mountain first. And over to, just in case I didn't get the CGs already, I'm just doing it to get the CGs, if I didn't already get them. But yeah, don't let it be said that it is really... Oh, I forgot that we had mermaid tears. Don't let it be said that if a developer is working all on their own, and even if they have like a dozen testers, if even that much, it is still a process that can take anywhere from, you know, 3 months to a year. And I even say 2 to 3 months because if the amount of bug testing that your game went through is a month or less, you better be working with a very small game. Also, I did not save the game, so here we go to get the ending. Also, the text might pass by in a flash, but it's fine. Managed to grow into an adult as, oh well, it follows the voice, so as long as there's a voice line on screen, or that going through our ears, the text will not go forward. How hard she studied, and yes, did you study hard? Because I needed your text as high as possible. But it's definitely more than doable. Now, if we were going for a more, I guess, elite ending, then I would have needed to do a few other things, but, you know, that'll happen when it happens. I think the next... If I do another playthrough, because at this point I'm thinking of a thing, but if I do another playthrough, it's certainly going to... even though it may not be the most complex, I might as well go through it, because it's a different experience, to some extent. Yeah, you've gone pretty strong, you know, 120, 130 defense is pretty strong. Considering that you can spend even more time making sure your daughter stats can even hit, like, what? Hit 190, 200 defense plus. Yeah, that's pretty strong. Pretty strong, Olive. But anywho, as we move on, or unless the game just crashed right here, I was about to say. Let's see if we run into a textual bug, by the way. I know more than a few of them have been reported at this point, but let's just see. Hey, look at that Steam achievement. I don't know if you can see it, but I can see it. Shogun de wa nai desu. Shogun ni naritaku nai. Shogun? I forgot if it's a ku or gu. I'm going crazy. Well, time for me to look up that later. Test her metal, metal. And if you didn't see the other stream that I did recently, then as of the time of this video, then I did the sorcerer version or the magic version of this ending, and it's an ending. I don't know how different it is, but I already can see that it looks different. I mean, obviously the fact that I think it's someone other than, I don't even remember, because I think it was actually the magic teacher who is talking here, but I can't remember. Aww. But really though, this is a much, you're not making a princess here, so I guess you get less points. I think you do get less points for this ending, because the game is called Princess Maker, and a wandering hero is not exactly a princess, unless they become a princess, but that's not within the scope of this game's ending considerations. And yeah, here we go. And so all of Yusha set off on an adventure. Her father, Yusha, sent her off without a word, same fiery passion that he himself once possessed as a young man. A young man from, let me see, the east, if I recall? I remember talking about it, but anywho. I think obviously this bug is well known because was an intellectual knight with a cheerful and outgoing personality. So yeah, that's probably what everyone is going to see if you've ever finished Princess Maker 2 Regeneration. So shrug, but yeah, and I think that one specifically was already one of the bugs that was taken care of. But hey. Wicked temptations, but her father's sense of justice deep inside her heart pushed on. On one occasion, she arrived at the capital of a land across the sea. The land's king was a wicked tyrant who left the country in shambles with corpses on the streets, and that's no good. Upon further investigation, she discovered that he was not the king, but an imposter, an evil dragon usurping his majesty's form. The true king had been oofed a long time ago, because I can't, always scared of robots I am. Bravely faced the evil dragon after a fierce battle, emerged victorious. The land's capital was liberated, a new king was crowned, and the city was restored to its former glory. With countless treasures gifted to her by the new king in hand, she returned home in triumph. Now, instead of being the hero's daughter, Olive had become a hero herself. Boken means adventure in Japanese. I think it's a mix of two things, but essentially, yes, Bouken in Romaji. Hello, Venus. Brought out the best in her, but she didn't become a princess. How do? So yeah, I did promise one more run, and I think, in fact, I will plan to do that. And I forgot to get rid of all the sin stat, so... It's not my fault, I forgot! Yeah, I should have really taken care of it. But who cares about the points, because nothing's gonna stop me now. And then she suddenly swerves back to being positive. So yeah, and then this I should really say which dialogue is addressing what, because every time the voice line changes here, the game is basically just checking variables. And yeah, apparently we got enough material. I think this is also RNG. It's not guaranteed to increase every day, but hey. Or every period. And then this is just the end epilogue dialogue, although depending on certain endings you get a different one, but we will see what happens at that time. As a minister, no, it can't be, right? I don't think, from what little I've seen, I don't think the worlds of every Princess Maker is known to be connected in some way, but I wouldn't doubt if somehow, there's some outside information that shows otherwise. I might as well let this rock as well. Blood type A carrying a lot of morality there. Keeping that in mind that every month we get 3 morality. So, what did I think you get more than that? Did you get more than it? No, you don't, right? So 3, 36, 36 times 8 is 278, I believe, if I recall correctly. Yeah. No? 288. I'm going crazy. Well, you get a lot of morality from that blood type, assuming you don't lower it, but you get a lot, so that's less there is an optimization there, and obviously we did farm the most. 101 Maternal Instinct, which is, I think you need 100 to get that specific piece of dialogue. And then 1287 points, but those don't do anything, they just make you feel better. I mean, you could print screen, copy screen, print screen, and be like, yeah, I got this many points with this ending, but yeah, without further ado though, that should be the end of this run. If I do decide to do another run, I'm likely to do it, but I'm not guaranteed, because there are things that I am working on right now that may require other consideration. So yeah, without further ado, as we let this rock, because this is actually the first video series form that I did. Never mind, I clicked away from it, so I lied to myself. But yeah, without further ado, I think we'll just leave this at that then. I did rock through the credits in my streams, but I really should have left. I didn't know. I was trying to test out if clicking really skipped you through, and I guess that makes sense that it does so, but there's no confirmation. But yeah, again, without further ado, if you have any suggestions, questions, comments, feel free. Otherwise, if you want to support this channel for whatever reason or not, feel free to do so. Otherwise, I'll see you later. Thank you for watching. Bye!